And as we prepare for a satsang this morning, we chant the Gayatri Mantra once, asking God to inspire our intellect. That as we go forward, may we always make rational, reasonable, and righteous decisions. Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Atha Sandhi Upasana Vidhi. Atha Achman. Om Amrito Pastara Namasi Swaha. Om Amrita Pidhan Namasi Swaha. Om Satyam Yashah Shrirmai Shrihishrayatam Swaha. Om Shanno Devira Bhishtaya Apo Bhavantu Pitaye Shanyorabhi Shravantu Naha. Devi Swarup Ishwaran Puran Abhishta ki je यह नीर हो सुधा में कल्याण दान दीजे नित रिधि सिद्धि बरसे हित हो सदा हमारा बहती रहे हृदय में सदधर्म प्रेम धारा सदधर्म प्रेम धारा. O all-pervading Mother, sweet and divine, be pleased to bless the cravings of my soul, to reach thy bosom this world of mine. Be filled with peace and bliss from pole to pole. Athanga Sparsha Mantra. Om Vakva. Om Prana Prana. Om Chakshish Chakshuh. Om Shrotram Shrotram. Om Nabhihi. Om Hridayam. Om Kantaha. Om Shiraha. Om Bahu Bhyam Yasho Balam. Om Karatal Karprishthi. Marjana Mantra. Om Bhupanatu Shirasi. Om Bhavahapnatu Nitrayoho. Om Swahapnatu Kanthe. Om Mahapnatu Hridaye. Om Janahapnatu Nabhyam. Om Tapahapnatu Padayoho. Om Kham Brahmapnatu Sarvatra. Om Pranayama Mantra. We inhale very deeply, and as we chant, we exhale gradually. Om Bhuh, Om Bhuvah, ॐ स्वः ॐ महः ॐ जनः ॐ तपः ॐ सत्यम् ॐ भुः ॐ भुवः ॐ स्वः ॐ महः ॐ जनः ॐ तपः ॐ सत्यम् ॐ भुः ॐ भुवः ॐ स्वः ॐ महः ॐ जनः ॐ तपः ॐ सत्यम् अघमार्जन मंत्र ॐ मृतं च सत्यं च भीधातपसोऽध्यजायत ततो रात्रये जायत ततः समुद्रो अर्णवः ॐ समुद्रादर्णवादनीकं संवत्सरो अजायत अहोरात्राणि विदधद् विश्वस्य मिषतो वशी ॐ सूर्याचन्द्रमसौ धाता यथा पूर्वं कल्पयत् दिवं च पृथिवीं चान्तरिक्षमथो स्वः ॐ शन्नो दैवीरभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये शम्योरभिश्रवन्तु नः मनसा परिक्रमा mantra. As we seek to circumambulate this universe, virtually visiting each corner, the cardinal points and above and below, we ask God for continued guidance in all our endeavors. Om Om Prachi Dig Agniradhipati Rasito Rakshita Ditya Ishavaha Tebhyo Namo Dhipatibhyo Namo Rakshitribhyo Nama Ishbhyo Nama Ebhyo Astu Yosman Dveshtiyam Vayam Dvishmastamvo Jambhe Dadmaha Om Dakshinabdigindro Dhipatistirastirachi Rakshita Pitara Ishavaha Tebhyo Namo Dhipatibhyo Namo Rakshitribhyo Nama Ishbhyo Nama Ebhyo Astu Yosmam Dvishtiyam Vayam Dvishmastamvo Jambhe Dadmaha Om Pratichi Digvaruno Dhipatihi Pridaku Rakshitan Nama Ishavaha Tebhyo Namo Dhipatibhyo Namo Rakshitribhyo Nama Ishbhyo Nama Ebhyo Astu Yosman Dveshtiyam Vayam Dvishmastambo Jambhe Dadmaha Om Udichi Diksomo Dhipatihi Svajo Rakshita Shanre Ishavaha Tebhyo Namo Dhipatibhyo Namo Rakshitribhyo Nama Ishbhyo Nama Ebhyo Astu Yosman Dveshtiyam Vayam Dvishmastamvo Jambhe Dadmaha Om Dhruvadik Vishnu Radhipatihi Kalmashigrivo Rakshita Virudha Ishavaha Tebhyo Namo Dhipatibhyo Namo Rakshitribhyo Nama Ishbhyo Nama Ebhyo Astu Yosman Dveshtiyam Vayam Dvishmastamvo Jambhe Dadmaha Om Urdhvadik Vishnu Radhipati Om Urdhvadik Brihaspatir अधिपति श्वित्रो रक्षिता वर्षमिषवः तेभ्यो नमो धिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नमः ईशभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्विष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तम्भो जम्भे दद्मः। उपस्थान मंत्र। ॐ उद्वयं तमसस्परि स्वः पश्यन्त उत्तरं देवदेवत्रा सूर्यं गन्मज्योतिरुत्तमम् ॐ उदित्यं जातवेदसं देवं वहन्ति केतवः दृशे विश्वाय सूर्यम् ॐ चित्रं देवानामुदगादनीकं चक्षुर्मित्रस्य वरुणस्य अग्निः आप्राद्याव पृथिवी अन्तरिक्षं सूर्य आत्मा जगतस्तस्तुषश्च स्वाहा ॐ तच्चक्षुर्देवहितं पुरस्ताच्छुक्रमुच्चरत् पश्येम शरदः शतं जीवेम शरदः शतं शृणुयाम शरदः शतं प्रब्रवाम शरदः शतं दीनाः स्याम शरदः शतं भूयश्च शरदः शतम्। ॐ शन्नो देवीरभीष्टया आपो भवन्तु पीतये शन्योरभिश्रवन्तु नः। अथ ब्रह्मगायत्री सावित्री गुरु मंत्र। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। समर्पण वाक्यम। हे ईश्वर दयानिधे भवत्कृपयानेन जपोपासनादिकर्मणां धर्म अर्थ काम मोक्षाणां सद्यः सिद्धिर्भवे नः। तत ईश्वरं नमस्कुर्यात्। ॐ नमः शम्भवाय च मयोभवाय च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च। हे मंगलेश शंकर मंगल करो हमारा। पावन प्रकाश पाए परमर्थ पुण्य द्वारा। परिज्ञान पे पिला दो अवडर गाढ़ दानी। तेरी शरण मियाय हे भक्तया भवानी हे भक्तया भवानी. And now I bow to thee, O God of calm, O God of peace and Lord of bliss divine. Thy grace supplies the burning hearts of balm. Thy blessings in my right desires shine. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Iti sandhyopasana vidhi samaptaham.
Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Welcome, Swamiji. Very happy to be here this morning. You know, everybody, I think, would have had a very hectic night, but happy to see so many of you here this morning. We will join in this Bhajan Chanchala Mananita. It's on page 49 of our Atma Geet. Oh, 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 चंचल मन निथ ओम जपा कर ओम जपा करो पल पल छिन्न छिन्न घड़ी घड़ी निश दिन ओम जपा करो चंचल मन निथ ओम जपा करे ओम जपा करो ओ प्रातः समय की सुख विला में संध्या की पुलकित रजनी में प्रातः समय की सुख विला में संध्या की पुलकित रजनी में रोम रोम से निकले तेरे ओम जपा करो ओ गहरा सागर तूती नैया जीवन तरनी ओम खिवैया गहरा सागर तूती नैया जीवन तरनी ओम खिवैया पार करेंगे ओम जपा करे ओम जपा करो ओ चंचल मन नित ओम जपा करे, ओम जपा करे ओम। पल पल छिन छिन घरी घरी निश दिन ओम जपा करो ओ
Check 1, 2. Thank you, Maiso Anji. We will now, before chanting Sankalp, we will recite Pratah Sukta as it is the morning, asking the Devtas and God that may we, whatever we do today, bring us fame, fortune, and prosperity. Atha Pratah Suktam Om Prataragnim Pratarindram Havamahe Pratar Mitra Varuna Pratarashvina Pratar Bhagam Pushanam Brahmanaspatim Pratas Soma Mutarudram Huvema Pratarjitam Bhagamugram Huvema Vayam Putramaditeryo Vidhatta आध्रश्चिद्यं मन्यमानस्तुरश्चिद्राजा चिद्यं भगं भक्षीत्याह भगप्रणेतर्भगसत्यराधो भगेमान् दियमुदवाददन्नः भगप्रणो जनयगोभिरश्वैर्भगप्रणुभिर्नृवन्दस्याम उदेदानीं भगवन्तस्यामोदप्रपित्वा उत मध्ये अह्नाम् उदोदितामघवन् सूर्यस्य वयं देवानां सुमतौ स्याम भग एव भगवानस्तु देवास्तेन वयं भगवन्तस्याम तन्त्वा भग सर्व इज्जो हवीति सनो भगपुर एता भवेह अथ संकल्पः ओम तत्सत्यद्य श्री ब्रह्मणो द्वितीये प्रहरार्धे सप्तमे वैवस्वते मन्वन्तरे अष्टाविंशतितमे कलियुगे कलिप्रथमचरणे 2083 विक्रमे संवत् दक्षिणायने वर्ष ऋतौ कृष्णपक्षे आषाढमासे षष्ठीतिथौ रविवार दिवसे पूर्वभद्रपद नक्षत्रे सिंह लग्ने शुभ मुहूर्ते अमेरिका देशांतर्गते न्यूयॉर्क प्रांते क्वींस जनपदे ब्रायवुड नगरे आर्य स्पिरिचुअल सेंटर मंदिरम स्थाने देवयज्ञ कर्म करनाय दयानंद गोत्रोत्पन्नस्य श्रीमतः भवन्तं पुरोहितं वृणे अथ देवयज्ञः अथ आचमनम्. Yajman taking water in the right palm. Om Amritopastra Namase Swaha. Om Amritapidhanamase Swaha. Om Satyam Yashashrimay Shri Shrayatam Swaha. Yajman asking God that during this yajna, may we be protected from above, from below, and our yajna today, may it bring us truth, fame, fortune, and prosperity. Athanga Sparasha Om Vangmasyastu Om Nasorme Pranostu Om Akshnor me Chakshurastu Om Kanyor me Shrotramastu Om Bahor me Balamastu Om Urvorma Ojostu Om Aristhani Mengani Tanustanvame Sahasantu Atheshwarastu Te Prarthanopasana Om Vishwani Deva Savitarduhitani Parasuva Yad Bhadrantanna Asuva Om Hiranyagarbhasamavartatagre Bhutasya Jatah Patireka Asit Sadadhar Prithivim Dyamute Mam Kasmai Devaya Havisha Vidhema Ya Atmada Balada Yasya Vishwa Upasate Prashishanyasya Devaha Yasya Chayamritan Yasya Mrityuh Kasmai Devaya Havisha Vidhema Yav Pranato Nimishato Mahitvaika Itraja Jagato Babhuva Ya Ishe Asya Dvipadashchatushpadah Kasmai Devaya Havisha Vidhema Om Ye Nadyo Rugra Prithivi Chadredha Ye Naswastabhitan Ye Nanakaha Yo Antarikshe Rajaso Vimanah Kasmai Devaya Havisha Vidhema Om Prajapate Natvadetanyanyo Vishwa Ajata Niparita Babhuva Yatka Amaste Juhumastanno Astu Vayam Syamapatayorahinam Om Sano Bandhurjanita Sa Vidhata Dhamani Vedabhuvanani Vishwa Yatra Deva Amritamana Strutiye Dhaman Nadhyairayanta Om Agni Naya Supatharaye Asman Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidwan Yuyodhyasmaj Juhuranameno Bhuyisthante Nama Uktim Vidhema Itishwarastuti Prarthanopasana Prakaranam. As we are doing Gayatri Havan today, we will begin with Agni Jwalan from this point. May we all stand, please. Om Bhurbhuvaswaha Om Bhurbhuvaswardyauriva bhumna Prithiveva varimna Tasyaste Prithivi Deva Yajani Prishthe Manna Manna Dhyaya Dadhe. Yajman fanning Agni. Om Udbudhya Swagne Pratijagrihitva Purte Sangsrije Thamayancha Asmin Sadasthe Adhyuttarasmin Vishve Deva Yajamanascha Sidata. May we all take our seats. Atha Samidadhana. Yajman offering 3 pieces of Samidha. Om Ayantaidma Atma Jatavedhaste Nedhyasvavardhasva Chedhavardhaya Chasman Prajaya Pashubhir Brahma Varchase Nana Yena Samedhaya Swaha Idamagnaye Jatavedase Idannamama Om Samidhagnim Duvasyata Ghriter Bodhayata Tithim Asmin Havya Johotana Om Susamidhaya Shochishe Ghritam Tivram Johotana Agnaye Jatavedase Swaha Idamagnaye Jatavedase Idannamama Om Tandva Samidbhirangiro Ghritena Vardhayamasi Brihacho Chaya Vishtya Swaha Idamagnaye Angirase Idannamama Atha Panchakrita Huti ॐ अयन्तयध्मा आत्मा जातवेधस्तेनेध्यस्ववर्धस्व चेधवर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नान्ना येन समेधय स्वाहा इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्नममा ॐ अयन्तयध्मा आत्मा जातवेधस्तेनेध्यस्ववर्धस्व चेधवर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नान्ना येन समेधय स्वाहा इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्नममा ॐ अयन्तयध्मा आत्मा जातवेधस्तेनेध्यस्ववर्धस्व चेधवर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नान्ना येन समेधय स्वाहा इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्नममा ॐ अयन्तयध्मा आत्मा जातवेधस्तेनेध्यस्ववर्धस्व चेधवर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नान्ना येन समेधय स्वाहा इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्नममा ॐ अयन्तयध्मा आत्मा जातवेधस्तेनेध्यस्ववर्धस्व चेधवर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नान्ना येन समेधय स्वाहा इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्नममा अथ जलसिञ्चन ॐ अदितेऽनुमन्यस्व ॐ अनुमतेऽनुमन्यस्व ॐ सरस्वत्यनुमन्यस्व ॐ देवसवितः प्रसुवयज्ञं प्रसुवयज्ञपतिं भगाय दिव्यो गन्धर्वः केतपुः केतन्नः पुनातु वाचस्पतिर्वाचं न स्वदतु Ghee offerings. ॐ अग्नये स्वाहा इदमग्नये दन्नममा ॐ सोमाय स्वाहा इदं सोमाय इदन्नममा ॐ प्रजापतये स्वाहा इदं प्रजापतये इदन्नममा ॐ इन्द्राय स्वाहा इदमिन्द्राय इदन्नममा प्रातःकालीन आहुति घी और सामग्री ॐ सूर्यो ज्योतिर्ज्योतिसूर्यः स्वाहा ॐ सूर्यो वर्चो ज्योतिर्वर्चः स्वाहा ॐ ज्योतिसूर्यः सूर्यो ज्योतिः स्वाहा ॐ सजुर्देवेन सवित्रा सजुरुषसेन्द्रवद्या जुषाणः सूर्यो वेतु स्वाहा ॐ अग्निर्ज्योतिर्ज्योतिरग्निः स्वाहा ॐ अग्निर्वर्चो ज्योतिर्वर्चः स्वाहा ॐ स्वाहा ॐ सजुर्देवेन सवित्रा सजुरात्रेन्द्रवद्या जुषाणो अग्निर्वेतु स्वाहा ॐ भूरग्नये प्राणाय स्वाहा इदमग्नये प्राणाय इदन्नममा ॐ भुवर्वायवेपानाय स्वाहा इदं वायवेपानाय इदन्नममा ॐ स्फुरारित्याय व्यानाय स्वाहा इदमारित्याय व्यानाय इदन्नममा ॐ भूर्भुवस्वरग्निवायवायतेभ्यः प्राणापानव्यानेभ्यः स्वाहा इदमग्निवायवायतेभ्यः प्राणापानव्यानेभ्यः इदन्नममा ॐ आपो ज्योतिरसोमृतं ब्रह्म भूर्भुवस्वरों स्वाहा ॐ यां मेधां देवगणाः पितरश्चोपासते तयामा मध्यमेधयाग्ने मेधाविनं कुरु स्वाहा ॐ विश्वानि देव सवितर्दुरितानि परासुव यद्भद्रन्तन्न आसुव स्वाहा ॐ अग्नेनय सुपथाराये अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान् युयोध्यस्मज्जुहुराणमेनो भूयिष्ठान्ते नम उक्तिं विधेम स्वाहा Om. At this time, we will begin the 108 recitation of Gayatri Mantra along with Swahakara. If we will divide this as we do in 3, if you know you would like to be in the next group, please prepare yourself to do so. And I will give a warning at the last 3 mantras of every segment so we can make a swift transition. We will now begin with the first segment of 36 mantras. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा Om. This brings us to the end of the first segment. Would those in the second segment please come up quickly to make ahutis?
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा.
This brings us to the end of the second segment. Please, those who would like to come up for the third and final segment of this 108 chantings, please come up and do so at this time. Om. 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 Om bhurbhuvasvaha tatsaviturvarenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा. ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा. ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
स्वाहा
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ. This brings us to the end of 108 chantings of Gayatri Mantra with Swaha. We will now move into special mantras, Pavamanahuti. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Agna Ayum Shipavasa Asuvurjamisham Chanaha Arebadhasva Duchunam Swaha Idamagne Pavamanaya Idannamama Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Agni Rishif Pavamanaf Panchajanyaf Purohitaha Tami Mahe Mahagayam Swaha Idamagne Pavamanaya Idannamama Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Agni Pavasvaswapa Asme Varchasu Viryam Dadadhraim Maiposham Swaha Idamagne Pavamanaya Idannamama Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Prajapate Natvadetanyannyo Vishva Jata Niparita Babhuva Yatkamaste Juhumastanno Astu Vayam Syamapatayorahinam Swaha Idamagne Idam Prajapate Idannamama. And as we recently celebrated the 250 years of the independence of this great country, we will recite all Ashtajahuti along with Stutamaya and the first mantra of each Veda and the Rashtra mantra, asking that may God continue to bless this country with prosperity, with nobility. May our leaders possess only noble intentions and be wise and be selfless in their specific duties. And may we as citizens uphold the values of this country and bring it nothing but prosperity and joy. Om Tvanno Agne Varunasya Vidwan Devasya Helo Vayasi Sishtha Yajishtho Vanhitamasho Shuchano Vishwadveshaan Sipramumugdhyasmat Swaha Idamagni Varunabhyam Idan Namama Om Satvanno Agne Vamo Bhavoti Nedhishto Asya Ushaso Vyushtho Avayakshvano Varunanrarano Vihimdelikam Suhavo Naedhiswaha Idamagni Varunabhyam Idan Namama Om Imam Me Varuna Shrudhi Hava Madhya Chamralaya Tvamavasyura Chake Swaha Idam Varunaya Idan Namama Om Tattva Ayami Brahmana Vandamanastada Aste Yajamano Havirbhihi Ahe Lamano Varuneha Bodhyurushan Samana Ayuf Pramoshi Swaha Idam Varunaya Idan Namama Om Yete Shatam Varunaye Sahasran Yajya Pasha Vitata Mahantaha Tebhirno Adya Savitota Vishnur Vishve Munchantu Marutasvarka Swaha Idam Varunaya Savitre Vishnave Vishvebhyo Devebhyo Marudbhyasvarkebhyaha Idan Namama Om Ayashchagne Syanabhishasti Pasha Satyamitvmayasi Ayano Yajyam Vahasayano Dehi Bhishajam Swaha Idamagne Ayase Idan Namama Om Uduttamam Varuna Pasha Masmadava Adhamam Vimadhyamam Shrathaya Atha Vayama Adityavrate Tavana Agaso Aditaye Syama Swaha Idam Varunaya Dityaya Ditayecha Idan Namama Om Bhavatanna Samanaso Sachetasa Varepaso Ma Yajyam Hing Sishtham Ma Yajyapatim Jata Vedaso Shivo Bhavata Madhyana Swaha Idam Jata Vedobhyam Idan Namama Om Stutamaya Varada Vedamata Prachodayantam Pavamane Dvijanam Ayuf Pranam Prajam Pashum Kirtim Dravinam Brahmavarchasam Mahyam Dattva Vrajata Brahmalokam Swaha Om Agnimire Purohitai Yajyasya Devam Ritvijam Hotaram Ratnadhatamam Swaha Om Ishetvorjetva Vayavastha Devo Vasavita Pratpayathu Shreshtathamaya Karmana Apya Yadvamagnya Indraya Bhagam Prajavati Ranamiva Ayakshma Mavasthena Ishata Magashakso Dhruva Asmin Gopato Syata Bahviryajamanasya Pashun Pahi Swaha Om Agna Ayahi Vitaye Grinano Havyadataye Nihota Satsi Barhish Swaha Om Yetri Shaptaf Pariyandi Vishwa Bhutani Vibhrataha Vachaspatir Vachanna Tesham Tanno Agnir Dadhatu Me Swaha Om Brahman Brahmano Brahma Varchasi Jayatamasmin Rashtre Rajanya Ishavyashuro Maharatho Jayatam Dogdhri Dhenurvodha Nadvanashu Saptif Purandhiryosha Jishnuratheshtha सभेयो युवास्य यजमानस्य वीरो जायतां निकामे निकामे नः पर्जन्यो वर्षतु फलवत्यो न ओषधयः पच्यन्तां योगक्षेमो न कल्पतां स्वाहा Om. We will now continue with the Havan, ghee offerings only. Om Agnaye Swaha Idam Agnaye Idam Namama Om Somaya Swaha Idam Somaya Idam Namama Om Prajapataye Swaha Idam Prajapataye Idam Namama Om Indraya Swaha Idam Indraya Idam Namama Om Bhuragnaye Swaha Idam Agnaye Idam Namama Om Bhuvarvayave Swaha Idam Vayave Idam Namama Om Surarityaya Swaha Idam Arityaya Idam Namama Om Bhurbhuvasvargni Vayvayatebhya Swaha Idam Agni Vayvayatebhya Idam Namama. Swishtakrit one offering of Mohan Bhog. Om Yadasya Karmanyo Daririchay Yadvanyu Namihaakaram Agnistat Swishtakrit Vidya Sarvam Swishtam Suhutam Karotu Me Agnaye Swishtakrite Sahutahute Sarva Prayaschittahuti Nam Kamanam Samardhayitre Sarvanah Kaman Samardhaya Swaha Idam Agnaye Swishtakrite Idam Namama. One offering of ghee, Prajapatyahuti. Om Swaha Idam Prajapataye Idam Namama. May we all stand for the final three offerings. All is final and all is complete. Sarvam Ve Purnam Swaha. Bringing our Devi Yajya, our Havani Yajya to a close this morning. Om Sarvam Ve Purnag Swaha. Om Sarvam Ve Purnag Swaha. Om Sarvam Ve Purnag Swaha. With hands outstretched to Agni, taking in the heat and radiance and passing it over our bodies. Om Tanupagne Si Tanva Me Pahi. Om Ayurdagne Si Ayur Me Dehi. Om Varchodagni Si Varcho Me Dehi. Om Agneyan Me Tanva Unam Tanma Aprena. Om Medha Me Deva Savita Adadhatu. Om Medha Me Devi Saraswati Adadhatu. Om Medha Me Ashvino Deva Vadhattam Pushkarasrajo. Apyayatam. Om Vakchama Apyayatam. Om Pranashama Apyayatam. Om Chakshushchama Apyayatam. Om Shrotranchama Apyayatam. Om Yasho Balam Chama Apyayatam. May we all take our seats. Yaj Pratna Geet.
So yeah, go ahead. So we'll do it together. All right, yes. पूजनीय प्रभु हमारे भाव उज्जवल कीजिए, छोड़ देवे छल कपट को मानसिक बल दीजिए। वेद की गावे रचाए सत्य को धारण करे, हर्ष में हो मग्न सारे शोक सागर से तरे। अश्वमेधाधिक रचाए यज्ञ पर उपकार को, धर्म मर्यादा चला कर लाभ दे संसार को। भावना मिट जाए मन से पाप अत्याचार की। कामनाएं पूर्ण होवे यज्ञ से नर नार की। स्वरत भाव मिटे हमारा प्रेम भत विस्तार हो। ईदन मम का सारतक प्रत्येक में व्यवहार हो। हाथ जोर झुकाए मस्तक,
हाथ जोड़ झुकाए मस्तक वंदना
हम कर रहे। नाथ करुणा रूप करुणा
आपकी सब पर रहे।
प्रभु आपकी
सब पर रहे। प्रभु आपकी सब पर रहे।
ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयः,
सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्।
मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ईश सब सुखी हो, कोई न हो दुखारी। सब हो निरोग भगवन, धन धान्य के भंडारी। सब भद्र भाव देके सनमार्ग के पथिक हो। दुखिया न कोई होए, सृष्टि में प्राण धारी। सृष्टि में प्राण धारी। सृष्टि में प्राण धारी।
O God, may all be happy, may all be free from misery, may all realize goodness, and may no one suffer pain. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you very much, Panita Murta. Can we all stand as we do the formal welcome this morning? Revered Pandits, Panditas, honored guests, Swamiji, fellow devotees, Namaste. Let me take this opportunity on behalf of the Arya Spiritual Center to welcome all of you here this morning to our very, very special program. As you know, once a month we have the Gayatri program, the first Sunday of every month, which we did this morning. But besides that, we have a very special guest here today, and we want to acknowledge his presence here today. Thank you very much for being here, Swamiji. You can now please have your seats again. We are going to go right into the program this morning. I know we have a very lengthy program, so I'm going to ask everyone to be very, very efficient in terms of their presentation this morning. So without further ado, I'm going to ask Pandita Amrita to give us the first item. Next, we have Pandit Neeraj.
Sadar Supreme Namaste. Our Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati came to awaken us, to renew our conviction, to rejuvenate Vedas, among many other things. जगाने आर्य जाति को, जगाने आर्य जाति को, मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे। जगाने आर्य जाति को, मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे। जगाने आर्य जाति को, मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे। सुनाने वेद की वाणी, सुनाने वेद की वाणी, मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे। सुनाने वेद की वाणी, मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे। मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे, मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे, मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे। जगाने आर्य जाति को, मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे। अविद्या के अंधेरे में यहाँ डूबी थी जब दुनिया, अविद्या के अंधेरे में यहाँ डूबी थी जब दुनिया, यहाँ डूबी थी जब दुनिया। जलाने जान की ज्योति, जलाने जान की ज्योति, मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे। जलाने जान की ज्योति, मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे। बड़े पाखंड पापों का यहाँ पर बोल बाला था। बड़े पाखंड पापों का यहाँ पर बोल बाला था, यहाँ पर बोल बाला था। मिटाने पाप की लंका, मिटाने पाप की लंका, मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे। मिटाने पाप की लंका, मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे। जगाने आर्य जाति को, मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे। उठो आर्यों, बजा दो फिर वही तुम वेद का डंका। उठो आर्यों, बजा दो फिर वही तुम वेद का डंका, वही तुम वेद का डंका। बजाने को जिसे जग में, बजाने को जिसे जग में मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे। जगाने आन जाति को मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे। जगा लो प्रेम की ज्योति मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे। जगाने आन जाति को मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे। मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे, मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे, मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे। जगाने आन जाति को, जगाने आन जाति को मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे। मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे, मेरे ऋषिराज आए थे।
Thank you very much, Pantam Amrita, for that beautiful, beautiful gate. This morning, I noticed we have not a great crowd, but we still have a good crowd here this morning, given the fact that it was a July long 4th weekend, and we just came out from a really hot week. I just want to thank all of you for coming out today to Mandir, and also welcome all those who are online watching our program today. So as we go into the next item, we're going to turn you over now to Pandit Neeraj, and he is going to chant the Gayatri Ganapati.
Namaste, everyone. So as we've in this year tried to recite the Ganapat and all the parts of Gayatri Mantra during Gayatri Yajna, once again, this is how the mantras were preserved, and it was chanted and is chanted on auspicious occasions, and especially since Swamiji is in our presence today, this is indeed an auspicious occasion. So if we can all focus our minds on Gayatri as we contemplate on this mantra. Om Atha Samhita Pathaha Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Atha Padapathaha Om Tat Savituh Varenyam Bhargaha Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyaha Yaha Naha Prachodayat Atha Kramapathaha Om Tatsavituh Saviturvarenyam Varenyam Bhargaha Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi 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 Dhiyo Yaha Yo Naha Naf Prachodayat Prachodayaditi Prachodayat Atha Jatapathaha Om Tatsavitus Tatsavituh Saviturvarenyam Saviturvarenyam Varenyam Bhargo Varenyam Bhargaha Bhargo Devasya Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Devasya Dhimahi Dhimahi Dhiyo Yaha यो नो यो नः नः प्रचोदयानो नः प्रचोदयात् प्रचोदयादिति प्रचोदयात् अथ घणपाठः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं वरेण्यं सवितुर्वरेण्यं सवितुर्वरेण्यं वरेण्यं सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो वरेण्यं सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गः वरेण्यं भर्गो वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य भर्गो वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि देवस्य भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि देवस्य धीमहि ते धीमहि धियो यो नो धियो यो नः यो नो यो नः प्रचोदयानो यो नः प्रचोदयात् नः प्रचोदयानो नः प्रचोदयात् प्रचोदयादिति प्रचोदयात् इति संहिता पदक्रमझटा घणापाठः ॐ शान्तिः 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 Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pandit Neeraj, for that. Next, we will list a few announcements, and then we'll go right into our main item for today, which is the pravachan. So starting with the announcements for today, as you know, we meet here every Sunday morning, and we invite all of you, if you're here today, please come every Sunday if you can. And those of you who are watching online, we invite you to come to Mandir whenever it's convenient and available for you. We have our classes. Couple of our classes, or Arya Bal Vikas classes right now is on summer break. It resumes in September. The Thursday night classes continues via Zoom. So if you would like to know more about that, please contact Pandit Deepakji, and we can provide you the Zoom codes and the access codes for that. Our Pandit training classes are also winding down. Hopefully we will get you more information on that as that goes on. Also, we would like to let you know we have a number of items that are back there for sale. Please contact the treasurer if you'd like to make a donation. We also take donations by paper, cash, or also electronic means, Zelle and PayPal. You can talk to us about how you can make those donations. Also, if you would like to rent the mandir for a special event, please contact Bahin Saraswati or Binaro or a member of the executive committee, and we can discuss with you for the arrangements on that. Also, if you're not part of our ASC Parivar chat group, please let us know and we can add you on there. That's the group we share all of our general information for the Samaj and so forth. So that's where all our flyers and everything is shared. And as you know, we are right now in the middle of our Arya Vedal camp. We have over 40 students at our camp. I have to tell you, it's a well-oiled machine, and it's been going really, really well. And I want to thank the leaders, especially Panita Devi, who's here. We have Bahin Diana. They've been leading the effort to make this a very, very successful event, and everyone else who has been part of that team to make this a very successful event. We continue for another week. Graduation will be next week. So we want to let you know, if you still would like to volunteer, if you would like to come during the week, please do so. We encourage you to come. If you have not attended the camp and you couldn't make it the first week and you want to make it the second week, please do so. We welcome you. It doesn't mean if you didn't come the first week, you can't come at all. You can still join if you were here, if you weren't here the first week. Also, we want to invite you to attend the 36th Arya Maha Sammelan, which is sponsored by APSA in Atlanta, Georgia. It's between July 16th and 19th. If you'd like more information on that, we have flyers in the back, and also talk to Pandita Devi or members of the executive. We can share more information with you. We encourage you, if you can attend the annual event in Atlanta, it's rewarding. It's something it's very, very detailed and very rewarding. Next, last but not least, we have in August Veda in the Park, which is going to be from August 27th through the 30th. So this is our annual Veda in the Park program that we have once a year. We started a few years ago. We are still soliciting those who, if you would like to have a sponsor for one night, or if you'd like to sponsor Bojan for one night or one day or one session, please let us know. We also, if you would like to volunteer and help us, I mean, it takes a real effort for a lot of people to really make that program going, because as you know, this is held at our land, and it starts on a Thursday and it concludes on a Sunday. So those are all the announcements we have for today. So next, we're going to go into our main program for today, and let me do a formal welcome to our special guest today. It is with great honor and joy that we welcome to our podium today a distinguished guest from South Africa, Swami Vedanand Saraswati. Swamiji has traveled a long way to be with us, carrying with him the light of wisdom and the timeless teachings of our spiritual heritage. And we are truly blessed to have him grace our Samaj and his presence. Swami Vedanandji has dedicated his life to the study and propagation of spiritual knowledge, serving communities across South Africa and beyond with humility, dedication, and deep insight. His work has touched countless hearts, and his commitment to spreading the message of the true Dharma and self-realization continues to inspire seekers around the world. Swamiji currently is a council member for the provincial government of KwaZulu Natal Social Cohesion and Moral Regeneration Council. Is recognized as a young and dynamic sannyasi. In a short span, Swamiji has made a profound impact, not only within the Hindu community, but also among the wider interfaith groups, bringing the light of Indian and Hindu culture, values, and teachings to leaders of other faiths. Inspired by Swami Dayanand, Swamiji is dedicated to spreading the Vedic message through practical and applied spirituality in everyday life. His commitment to Hindu unity and the promotion of Sanatan Dharma led to the founding of the Sannyas Spiritual Council of South Africa, uniting sannyasis from all Hindu and institutions across the region. Swamiji's passion for mentoring youth through practical spirituality aims to build a revitalized and empowered young generation in South Africa and abroad. Swamiji has been honored as a chief guest and speaker at numerous national and international conferences, seminars, and summits, both Hindu and interfaith-based in countries including Canada, the United States, the UK, India, Ecuador, Kenya, Uganda, Mauritius, South Korea, Thailand, among others. He has been with our students at camp this week and had an in-depth interview with our own Pandit Deepakji. Today, we have the rare privilege of sitting in his presence and receiving his word of wisdom. I have no doubt that what he shares with us this morning will illuminate our minds and nourish our souls. Without further delay, I now invite all you to join Pandit Neeraj in formally welcoming him. Can you please stand?
Swamiji, if you can please come. Our viewers will garland you as I recite these mantras of welcoming you here. Garland him and touch his. Om Gananam Tva Ganapatim Havamahe Kavim Gavinam Upamasravasthamam ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती दीनामभित्र्यवतु Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we all prepare our minds to receive today's pravachan. Thank you. May we all take our seats. Thank you, Swami.
Sankachadvam samvadhadvam samvo mananse janata deva bhagam yatha purve sanjanana upasate Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorama Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. My dearest embodiments of peace, love, and joy, my Prem Namaste to each and every one of you. I cannot tell you what an absolute honor and privilege and blessing it is to be with all of you here. This is the first time I'm not just here at the Arya Spiritual Center, but with all of you who share the same roots that I share. Where our forefathers came, in my case, 160 some odd years ago, came to a land with great promise, only to face much trial and tribulation. They came with nothing. And yet, with that nothing, the only thing that held them together was their dharma. Their dharma gave them the sense of unity and community. It gave them a hope to hold on to. It made them persevere, persist, and work hard. And they toiled with blood, sweat, and tears. And today, look at us. We would not be where we are if they had failed. But because of the love, because of the dharma, because of the perseverance, because of who they were, they built their community. They lived for their families. They lived for each other. With nothing, they built our homes, our systems of education. They continued the culture. And today we stand proud on their shoulders. So it's quite nostalgic for me to be with all of you here, many of you whom I've shared such a same history with me, being 6 generations since then. Yesterday was the first time I stood at the monument where in 2001, September 11, the Twin Towers had fallen. And for a moment I stood and I prayed. And whilst praying for all those who lost their lives, and not just then, for everyone after that and before that, whom through terror and no fault of their own, their lives were lost, I drew back to the ones both who were lost and the ones who committed that grave terror, right to the moment they were little children. And I remember what Nelson Mandela once said: children are not born with hate. Children are taught to hate. You put a bunny rabbit in front of a baby and a carrot, the baby will chew on the carrot and play with the bunny rabbit. Naturally, compassion comes out of us. Love comes out of us. Purity comes out of us. And yet somewhere along the line, as we grew up, things started to sway. The exposure of the things around us, founded by the opinions of others, the world that's already built before we open our eyes and suddenly we're exposed to, starts to mold a particular character, starts to mold a particular point of view, starts to form an ideology, and before you know it, we've developed something, but something that was never our own to begin with. Something that developed from the opinion of another, based on biasness, based on cruelty, based on personal power and control. So, and this is what happens with me. I start veering off from what I plan to speak on. Never ever give a sannyasi a mic without him preparing. He can keep you here the whole day. So when I was asked to speak about not just chapter 2 and 3 of the Satyarth Prakash, but, or 3 and 4 rather, but I reflect on these young, beautiful kids that I'm at camp with. Kids that grew up with our heritage, but are living in a Western world. A world faced with continuous exposure to a different way of thought. One of expectation, one of entitlement. And so, it's so uncanny that I remembered what Nelson Mandela had said, and I thought, rather than me giving you a scholarly view of what the Satyarth Prakash has to say, because we listen to that all the time. We listen to scholarly views. We get amazed at how we can break down mantras. But the application of those mantras is what we all but miss. Because sometimes we need to sit back and just listen to the bare truth. To get back to the simplicity, what is the message trying to tell us? What is Swamiji trying to convey through that Vedic principle? Something which we miss along the way because we are overwhelmed by the beauty of the mechanic nature of spirituality. Don't get me wrong. The Havan is in our blood. Yajna is in our blood. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the point of performing Yajna is not just to make it mechanical. It's not about the perfection of the procedure, but about the perfection to apply every principle, every mantra into the core of our hearts, into the core of our life, so that it truly becomes a way of life and not something we listen to when we come for satsang. So today, as I speak to you, I'm going to break it down to the simplest level, because today we have to go back to basics. We are all perfected in being judge, jury, and executioner. Trust me, I know. The world over. We are experts in everything. We are commentators on everything. We have all gotten the degree and professorship that social media sees. And yet through it all, my friends, ask us who even applies these basic 10 principles. The reality is none of us. So let's go back to basics, because it depends on what? It depends what we choose to do today, how we choose to live today. The seed we plant today will determine the tomorrow we face and the tomorrow our angels are to wake up with and lead, so that we don't get another 9/11. We don't get a child being born and taught how to hate, so that he or she differentiates from one to another. That through the beauty of our diversity, we can see our oneness. We can celebrate what binds us, what unites us, as well as the diversity which shows the beautiful colors that the Almighty has cast upon His creation. So, with that being said, I want to go to raising children in the 21st century. To raise a child has always been a sacred duty and a sacred responsibility. But to raise a child in this day and age, especially in a Western country like the US, no different from SA, mind you, but since you're in US, let's speak about US. It's a very different and demanding responsibility. Our children are growing up in a world of freedom, supposed freedom, opportunity, comparison, distraction, and cultural confusion. They're surrounded by voices telling them what they should be, what to buy, how to look, what to believe, and how to measure success. Materially, mind you, not principally. Next slide. America gives our children many blessings: education, opportunity, exposure, and the freedom to dream. However, with these blessings, my friends, come serious challenges. And this is a global problem. Digital addiction, peer pressure, anxiety, materialistic views, the loss of identity, weakened family time, digital manipulation, disrespect, and a culture that so often speaks about these rights and freedoms, but without the equal emphasis on duties and responsibilities. So the question before us is, how can we raise our children who can succeed in America without losing their Vedic or Dharmic foundation? How do we raise children who are modern but not withdrawn from their heritage? Next slide. Maharishi Dayanandji gives us a powerful foundation in the Satyarth Prakash. He teaches Matraman, Pitraman, Acharyavan, Purusha Veda. That person truly becomes learned, who has the blessing of the three great teachers, mother, father, and Arya bolo, Acharya. Now, this is a profound teaching. It means that a child is not shaped by the school alone. Agreed? And yet, you know what the funny thing is? And I'll give an example in South Africa. Last year, throughout the year, we went through different provinces and cities to speak about our future. And there were so many parents at these different programs. And you know what almost all the parents said? Our schools are not doing what our schools are supposed to be doing. Our schools are not teaching our kids. They're not disciplining our kids. What are you doing at home? What is the school receiving to be able to teach that discipline when discipline starts at home? The ability to listen starts at home. The ability to respect starts at home. The Acharya Ji is there to develop that into wisdom, to give the education. But the foundation of who a child is begins at home. The child is shaped first by their mother, then by the father, and then by the teacher. The mother gives the earliest influence. The father strengthens direction and discipline. And the Acharya provides the knowledge, directs the wisdom, and refines that beautiful child into a young adult. Together, these three form the foundation of what should be a noble human being, ready to face and to serve life and society. Next slide. Swamiji further reminds us that the highest duty of parents, teachers, and the relatives, they're not excluded, is to adorn our children not merely with outer possessions, but with sound education, the nobility of character, the refinement of manners, and the sweetness of temperament. Don't only prepare a child for school and for education and for material success. Prepare your child for life. Because if you do not prepare that child for life, the child will be an expert in a particular subject and know how to earn a living. But when it comes time to face life, they fall. The other day, Panditji and I discussed mental well-being. In first world countries like the UK and the US, mental well-being has become a dilemma. People cannot face pressure. Why? Because they don't know how to face life. Experts, high academic education, overqualified, mind you, and yet cannot face something as simple as pressure. Next slide. However, before we speak about the challenges our children face and what Swamiji has to teach us about raising children, we have to speak honestly about the responsibility that parents face. Next slide. A child is not born with a fully formed mind. We know that. Without a fully formed character, nor a fully formed sense of judgment. A child is young and tender. A child is still immature, observing, absorbing, and waiting to become. A child is still learning what is good, what is harmful, what is temporary, and what is lasting. And taking that into consideration, how can we then place a burden on a child and say, let them decide? How does a child know what to decide when a child still is learning, absorbing, and carving character and sound judgment? Is that not the duty of a parent? We cannot expect a child to always know what they want, because many times what they want is simply what is attractive at the time. We cannot expect a child to always understand how they feel, because emotions will run quickly in the mind of a young child. A child may feel anger, sadness, jealousy, excitement, fear, or frustration. But that does not mean that every emotion should be obeyed. And this is where parents must guide. The role of a parent is not to crush the emotion, no, but to guide their reaction. To teach the child how to think, how to develop judgment. A parent must teach a child to pause, to question, and to respond with thoughtfulness. Next slide. Today, many parents give in to the emotion of the child because it gives you peace. You know, when I say a child nags, and sometimes you just want to just get that break. The child cries, so we give in. The child becomes angry, we give in. The child compares with others, we give in. The child says, oh, everybody has it, I don't have it. Chalo, we give in. But if we keep on giving in to every emotion, we are not strengthening that child. We are training that child to be ruled by their emotion, to be enslaved by their emotion. Dayanandji teaches us that those parents and teachers who correct those children when necessary are aiding them and helping them and crafting them, while those who indulge them without guidance become the cause of their weakness and the cause of their downfall. And lest I show you, look around and look at the world we're living in today. When I grew up and I was in school, I would dare not even think of back-chatting to my teacher. Yet today, it is so easy to take a chair and throw it at that same teacher. Why? Suddenly, out of the blue, where do things change? We speak about a generation gap. We speak about, oh, look at the generation today. Look at the youth of today. They're like this, and that. They don't just become this, and that. They've got to absorb it from somewhere. They had to learn it from somewhere. So perhaps before questioning, if we turn the light towards us, we'll realize, hey, this is what we're throwing out into the world because of our own chaos, because of our own disruptions and anger. And as a result, the poor child who needs to be nurtured will only resemble what he or she is taught. But that correction must never come from a point of anger, cruelty, humiliation, or ego. Because it happens sometimes. We confuse discipline with cruelty and humiliation. So much so that it wounds a child so deep that that wound carries on to the time they're an adult. It must come from love, from wisdom, from consistency, and from responsibility. Parents must understand that the guidance children need will not come from anywhere else, but from you. The school may educate their minds, but it can't replace a home. Our mandirs may inspire children, but it can't replace the daily example that they're getting from home. Social media is not going to raise our children with dharma. Understand that. The internet is not going to teach our children humility. All these influences you get are not going to teach our children responsibility, respect, restraint, or prayer. Responsibility begins where? Come now, if the children can answer, the adults can answer. Responsibility starts where? At home. Children watch everything. They watch how the mother and father speak to each other. They watch how the parents speak to the grandparents. They watch whether parents respect one another or insult one another. They watch whether the home is peaceful or tense. They listen when adults gossip. You know, sometimes we're on the phone and we can hit a good gossip with somebody. This child is listening. They absorb sarcasm. They absorb the anger. They absorb the jealousy, the criticism, and the arrogance. But The beauty about a sponge that absorbs anything, it can also absorb kindness. It can absorb love. It can absorb patience and forgiveness and discipline and prayer and humility. Same sponge, differentiated only by what we allow it to absorb. If parents shout, what will the children learn? Shouting. If they gossip, gossiping. If our parents are constantly on the phone, don't expect your child not to be on the phone. If parents pray, the child will pray. If parents speak the truth, our kids will learn honesty. They become what we emulate. The temperament of the home becomes the temperament of the child. A parent, therefore, has to be responsible before expecting responsibility from their children. A parent must be disciplined before expecting discipline from their child. And a parent must be respectful before expecting respect. And most importantly, the parents must live in accordance with Dharma before they expect their children to know what Dharma is. Parenting itself is yajna. It is the daily offering of your time, sacrifice, example, correction, guidance, and love. And when parents understand this, the home becomes the first Gurukul. The parents become the first acharyas. And the child grows with roots strong enough to be prepared for a society today that's ready to eat them like sharks. Next slide. One after that. I missed the slide, sorry. Right. Take. So from the Satyat Prakash, I wish to place just 10 simple yet active points for raising children in this age. Next slide. Well, okay, if we go to here, these are the 10 points, right? But I'll go through each of them. Identity with understanding, respectful speech, character before comfort, modern understanding of what is brahmacharya, digital wisdom, emotional maturity, good company, daily spiritual practice, the Panch Mahayajnas as part of our daily life, and character as the goal. Each challenge becomes an opportunity for Vedic parenting. Thank you. Next slide. So first, the challenge of this cultural confusion that our kids face, giving children identity with understanding. Many Hindu children worldwide and in America grow up feeling that they live in two worlds, and you'll be amazed with some of the conversations I have. And you must understand one thing, parents. You can converse with your child and they'll tell you what you want to hear. When they can speak with somebody they can relate to, they'll tell you what is reality. You know, before a mother and a father, particularly a mother, would know her child in and out. Do you know the sad part is today, not even a mother can know her child, because a child can live two distinct worlds. The world they want you to see and the world in the dark. At home, they may hear the mantras, attend Havan, celebrate Diwali, respect family traditions. At school, they will be very different. Different because of their name, their food, their culture, their beliefs or way of life. Some children actually begin to hide their identity. And what I'm telling you is real things that happen. They hide their identity. They feel shy to say they are Hindu. They may know the words to the Gayatri Mantra or to the Havan, but they don't understand the meanings or the application. What has this got to do with me going to school? What has this got to do with if somebody else bullies me? With the humiliation I may face? Swami Vedanand teaches us that children must be raised with knowledge and not blind habit. Parents have to explain Dharma in a way that the child can understand. And a child who understands Dharma, not the way we might understand it based on the way we grew up, but in a way they can understand and relate based on the circumstances they face. Then its application and relevance in their life will not make them ashamed. Our children must be taught that they can be American and Vedic or Dharmic at the same time. Modern, yet spiritual. Successful and Dharmic. They are not two separate things. It is the basis of everything that we do. Next slide. The challenge of weakened speech and respect. Teaching children how to speak. Again, back in the day, if I had to tell my grandfather one odd word, I will get one tight tapar. Not because he hated me, not because he wanted to abuse me, but he instilled discipline and respect. Today, if I tell you how I hear people younger speaking to their elders, it cringes my spine. And it's not a matter of standing up against an elder on a matter of principle or what. You can stand up on principle, but know how to talk. Know how to be respectful. Know how to be mindful. One thing we fail is that when we speak, we don't listen. We hear, keeping in mind our response that's already formulated and waiting for the other to finish before we do so. We don't place our minds in the mind of another. We don't listen and think, why would they say that? Why would they be in that position? We want to be confrontational. And then we want to know why our youth have adopted the ability to be confrontational. Because we've lost the ability to think, to speak, to hear, to listen, to understand, not to judge. And yet we can. Swami Vedanand gives us great importance to speech. And he says children should speak clearly, sweetly, respectfully, and properly. Children are often encouraged today to speak their mind, but not always taught how to speak with respect. Many learn sarcasm, rudeness, slang, back answering, and harsh speech. And it's all coming not just from what they're exposed to, but social media, entertainment, and the culture of their peers. But speech reveals character. When I listen to how you speak, I know what type of character you have. Just so as I know what character you are with the company you keep. A child who cannot control the tongue will struggle to control the mind. Parents must teach their children that confidence does not mean disrespect, like I said. Freedom of speech does not mean carelessness of speech. And being modern doesn't mean being rude. It means being understanding, to transition between one thought to the next. Teach children to greet elders and to speak truth without cruelty. Teach them to disagree without insult. Being exposed to a world full of shouting and gossip and arguing and online attacks, a child has learned not to be a part of the disease, but they've got to learn to be a part of the cure. Next slide. The challenge of material living. Build character before comfort. America is a land of abundance. Children are surrounded by brands, fashion, expensive phones, cars, vacations, constant advertising telling them what they need to be better. Gosh, you think you just got the newest, best iPhone, 2 months later, you're outdated. Very easily, a child begins to think that worth comes from what one owns. They measure your status. They measure your credibility. They measure your worth by admiring what you have and what you don't, how you live, in what you live, and in what you drive. Swamiji teaches us that outer decoration does not beautify the soul. True ornaments of a child are knowledge, truthfulness, humility, discipline, good manners, and service. Yes, parents naturally want to give their child the best. But please define what the best is. Because that best is love first. We have to ask, are we giving them only comfort or are we giving them character? Every time you make a choice, ask that question. Are we giving them only comfort or are we giving them character? Are we giving them devices or are we giving them direction on how to lead life? Are we giving them just gifts or are we teaching them gratitude? Be grateful for every grain of rice you have, for another does not know when that next grain will come. Are we teaching them gratefulness for the roof over their head, where another has to fear whether the next bomb is going to drop on their ceiling? I can tell you things that can shock you, that you only see on TV, but I've been on ground zero. And it changes your entire perspective. Sometimes we are too cushioned by the world, and not by the world, by our loved ones. We are too cushioned by the best of things that we don't see the harsh realities of life. And it removes gratefulness and gratitude from our hearts. A child who has everything but no gratitude will become restless. A child who receives everything but is never taught responsibility becomes entitled. And today we are living in a world of entitlement. Again, I go back to our forefathers. They worked blood, sweat, and tears for us to evolve, to grow, to be the best we could be. But today, how many of us look back and remember and remind ourselves of our roots, maintain our humility? No. Because luxury makes us entitled. The hard work of our forefathers, the hard work of our parents, that is now what we are inheriting, makes us entitled. A child who is taught effort and service and humility becomes strong. Let us not raise children who only ask, what will I get? But let us raise children who will ask, what can I give? How can I serve? And how can I improve? Next slide. The challenge of the digital age, addiction to the screen, self-control as modern brahmachari. One of the greatest challenges of parenting today is the screen. Now, I may have a screen, but I'm not using the screen the way the screen is capturing the minds of others today. One of the greatest challenges is our phones, our games, videos, social media, constant entertainments that enter the mind of our children at a very young age. Many children lose focus, patience, sleep, and real human connection. Swamiji teaches us and places great importance on brahmacharya. In student life, brahmacharya meant self-control, discipline, purity, focus, conservation of energy for learning, and development of character. But in today's world, brahmacharya can be extended to also mean that we do not become slave to our senses, that we don't let every desire control us, that we don't allow the phone to become our master, that we don't allow harmful content to pollute our minds, and that we don't waste precious years of learning through hours of scrolling. In today's world, parents must create healthy boundaries. No phones at the dinner table. How many of us actually now sit together and eat as a family? Speak to each other. How was your day? How can I help you? Can I help you with homework? Maybe the young ones. But as they get older, they don't need your time anymore. They don't need your conversation. But what do we do? Because obviously today we've got working families, working moms and dads. So you come back late. But when you come back, leave the office at the door. Leave technology at the door. You chose to be a parent. You chose to be a mother or a father. You have a responsibility. When you come home, that is your priority. No unlimited scrolling, no devices late at night, no harmful content without correction and guidance. Parents must also lead by example. We cannot ask children to disconnect if we ourselves are always distracted. Modern brahmachari is the power to say, I can control my attention, my habits, my time, my use of technology, but technology will not use me. Technology will not enslave me. Next slide. The challenge of digital manipulation. Raise children with reason and independent thinking. When Swami Dayanand warned against superstition and blind faith, we mustn't only understand this in the religious sense. The enemy has evolved. Today, again, blind faith comes through social media, through advertising, through influences, through our trends, through digital culture and marketing strategies. Children are constantly told what they should buy, how they must look, what they should wear, what they should eat, and what they need to become in order to be accepted in society by their friends, by their peers, to look cool, to be popular. They are told that certain products will make them healthier, more attractive, more confident, more successful, or more popular. They are told that if they don't follow a trend, they are missing out. Hey, something went up here. 1 second. They are missing out. They are told that popularity is success, that attention is value, and that followers that you have on your Instagram are proof of how worthy you are. This too is a form of blind faith. When children believes every influencer, every advertising, every online claim, and every viral trend, and every digital voice without thinking, then is the child free? The child is not free. The child is shackled by chains. The child is being shaped by someone else's agenda. And often behind that agenda is profit, power, and control. Swamiji wanted children to be protected from ignorance and taught to examine truth. And in today's world, that means digital wisdom. Next slide. Parents have to teach children to ask themselves, when they are on social media, when they are looking online, who is saying this? What? Why are they saying it? Are they trying to help me or sell something to me? Is it true or is it just popular? Is it healthy or is it fashionable? Is this making me stronger or making me insecure? And is it helping my character or weakening it? Technology is not the enemy. Understand this. Social media is not even the enemy. The problem is who is using it, the people. And the danger is when people behind these things become the new parent, the new teacher, and the new moral guide. A truly educated child is not one who knows only how to scroll. You know, sometimes we say, hey, look how intelligent my young fellow is, or my grandchild. They can use the phone, they can use the iPad, they know how to go onto apps. We're proud of that. Let us think twice. It's not because they know how to do these things. We need to stop saying that. Oh, my child, my grandchild is so intelligent, they know how to use it. No, praise how responsible your child is in using and choosing when to use technology. Do you remember when we used to go to the library to do research? Because that's how I grew up. I didn't have an iPad and a smartphone. There was no Google Mataji. We had Britannica. We had the encyclopedias. We had to go into the, which are those books you couldn't take out? The resource section. You had to go into the library, use it. You couldn't take it home. You used to go to the photocopy machine. We worked hard. We exercised our gray matter. And today, yes, the same information may be accessible online, but what are we not doing? We're using a button to give us a comprehension, to do our work for us. And we are not exercising our gray matter, our brain, our intellectual capacity. So much so that we are so dependent. Take this away and we are stupid. I still remember when growing up, you knew everybody's phone numbers because you literally had to dial the number. Today, you bring up the name and the numbers there. How many of us remember numbers these days? Unless it's an old number. We don't, because we haven't practiced exercising it. Take away GPS. Before you'd use a map, you'd know how to go places. Today, even the places you've gone to, you'll still use GPS. So, that needs to change. Again, it doesn't mean don't use technology. Use it wisely in a way that allows you to exercise your gray matter. It doesn't stop you from still opening a book and reading it. Smelling the pages, feeling it, running and feeling the grass. Why do you think we are so sick today as a world? We have not allowed our immune system to boost naturally. We used to play outside, play with the mud, eat the sand. Today, we're all clean, over-scrubbed, sit, and we're on the phone. Parents, we've got to change that. It doesn't mean we go back to the Stone Ages. It means we can create a healthy balance. Next slide. The challenge of emotional impulsiveness, guiding feelings into thoughtful action. Many children today are emotionally overwhelmed. They may become angry very quickly, compare themselves constantly, feel rejected easily, and become anxious when things don't go their way. ADHD is increasing day by day in our children. Parents should not dismiss emotions, but neither should they surrender to them. A child needs help understanding feelings. A child must learn that emotions are real, but they are not always reliable guides. Maharishi Dayanandji, on teaching discipline, self-control, and correction of that is deeply relevant here. Children must be taught to pause before reacting, to think before speaking, and to reflect before acting. When a child is angry, guide them to calm down before responding. When a child is jealous, teach them gratitude. When they're disappointed, teach them resilience. When a child fails, teach them effort. And when a child is hurt, teach them communication without cruelty. This is how we turn emotion into maturity. And we don't raise strong children by giving them everything they feel like having. We raise strong children by helping them understand, regulate, and to purify their reactions. Tell you a quick story. I know I'm running heavily over time. Please forgive me. Almost done. I remember this one person used to come and say, Swamiji, every day I'm praying to God, I'm praying to God, and He's not answering my prayers. I'm not getting what I want. I'm asking for this. Every day I'm praying. What's the use of prayer? I said, Mataji, God is so loving. He answers every prayer. The thing is, we need to realize that sometimes the answer is no. And she kept quiet. So, likewise, just because you may think you want it doesn't mean you can have it. Right? Next slide. The challenge of peer pressure, guiding children towards good company. Children today are not only influenced by friends, but by classmates, celebrities, influencers, all these things. And sometimes the people shaping their minds are not the people the parents even know. Swamiji teaches us that children must be guided towards elevating company and keeping away harmful influence. In the past, parents asked, who are your friends? Today we must ask, who are you following? Who are you watching? And what values are entering your mind? Parents have to help children build friendships with those who inspire good habits, not those who pull them towards the wrong behavior. Can you hit 2 slides for me? 3 slides. Yeah. Okay, so the Panch Mahayajnas. So we all know the Panch Mahayajnas, right? We know it. We know its daily procedures. We perform the Sandhya here. But how many of us perform these humble actions daily? Who gets up in the morning and together with their family, even if it's not the whole Sandhya, starts the day with prayer? How many of us do Agnihotra at home regularly, if not daily? How many of us, again, respect our parents, elders on a daily basis? How many of us serve the animals, the plants, throw out seeds for the birds, volunteer? How many of us respect our guests, are taught our kids, if there's somebody new at school, welcome them, befriend them, guide them? You see, these Panch Mahayajnas are daily simple fundamentals that we can do and implement in our lives to start molding character. And it doesn't mean you follow the way the mantra says it. The mantra was written back then in its explanation. Apply it today. Next slide. We can go right to the practical action list. Down. Next slide. Next slide. No. Yeah, there's a slide before. Right. Okay. So what must we begin at home? Create a device-free family time. Explain dharma. Don't only demand practice. Correct with love, consistency, and calmness. Model respectful speech and avoid gossip. Establish a short daily prayer and reflection and make service a family habit. In the morning, let your child set an intention for the day and a purpose for the day. Take 2 principles that can guide them. Let them go through their day. When they come back, sit with them, measure. Were they able to achieve what they set out to achieve that day? What struggles did they face? What new possibilities did they encounter? And then set themselves to correct or to advance for the day to come. Every day must be lived with purpose and lived with gratitude. When they wake up in the morning, as they open their eyes, teach them to look out into the sun, open the curtains, and be grateful that they could see, awaken, and be with their loved ones again. Because in today's day and age, kal ho na ho, tomorrow may just never come. So you can go down, down, down. Right. My final prayer is that every parent become a living example and your home be a place for peace, growth, and learning. That may we awaken our children not only having pride in who they are, but responsibility for who they are to become. It is in your hands. The children here, the children at camp, children who you may not be parents of, but have a chance to offer guidance to. It's your responsibility. Don't leave it up to a mind that doesn't know. It needs guidance, and you're that guidance. Mata Pita Guru Devam. And if somebody tells you what you should do or guides you on something you may not be seeing, don't jump up and say, don't tell me how to raise my child. Be humble. Be grateful. Say thank you. Maybe I might not have seen it. I will try it. Don't meet it with arrogance. Because if you're truly perfect, you should keep them out a little silent. And yes, people may not also be so open to jump if they themselves have not perfected something. But it's fine. We're not there again to play judge, jury, and executioner. Accept the truth where truth is. If the cap fits, wear it. Because you can only be better for it. With that, thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for bearing with me. I know I went completely over time, but Paramatma's blessings to all of you. Good health, happiness, prosperity, love to all. Om Shanti.
Thank you very much, Swamiji, for that spiritual prasad today. A lot of takeaways there, raising children in the 21st century. One of the things, he's provided a recipe or a manual for us to use. But one of the main takeaways here is that charity begins at home. You've got, if anything you can take away here, is that charity begins at home. Let me say thank you once again, Swamiji, for that really, really inspiring pravachan. Well done. Now, we're going to wrap up. Just a few thank yous. I just want to thank everyone who participated in our yajna this morning, all the pandits, panditas, yajmans, the musicians, everybody who participated. Our own Devendra, who was doing multitasking, including doing the producing at the back there, doing everything as he's running around, doing everything. Thank all of you for coming. Thanks everyone who provided Bojan and who was assisted in Bojan preparation as well for today. We want to thank all of you for coming and listening to this pravachan today. I'm sure this pravachan was taped and probably will be available if you would like to have it. I mean, so you can replay it if you've missed it. So please feel free to ask us if you would like to get a copy of this. So please stand as Panita Amrita will lead us into Aarti and Shantipat.
Om Jai Jagadish Hari Swami Jai Jagadish Hari Bhakt Jano ke sankat Bhakt Jano ke sankat Kshan mein dur kare Om Jai Jagadish Hari जो ध्यावे फल पावे दुख विनशे मन का स्वामी दुख विनशे मन का सुख संपत्ति घर आवे सुख संपत्ति घर आवे कष्ट मिटे तन का ओम जय जगदीश हरे विषय विकार मिटाओ पाप हरो देवा स्वामी पाप हरो देवा श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ संतन की सेवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट भक्त जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे
ॐ अथ शान्तिपाठः ॐ द्यौ शान्तिरन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि ॐ शान्तिः 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 अथ भोजन मन्त्र ॐ अन्नपतेनस्य नो देह्यनमीवस्य शुष्मिनः प्रप्रदातारं तार्ष ऊर्जन्नो देहि द्विपदे चतुष्पदे ॐ शान्तिः 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 प्रेम से बोलो ओमकार भगवान की प्रेम से बोलो मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम श्री रामचंद्र की प्रेम से बोलो योगेश्वर श्री कृष्ण चंद्र की प्रेम से बोलो जगत गुरु महर्षि स्वामी दयानंद की प्रेम से बोलो वेदा माता की प्रेम से बोलो वैदिक सत्य सनातन धर्म की वैदिक ध्वनि ओ वैदिक अभिवादन नमस्ते।